You know, you're an atheist, you're a non-believer, and I respect that. That's fine. If you want to be an atheist, that's why we have America. You can be it.
Thanks.
What religion is involved with Christmas? What religion?
Obviously the esoteric of Dagon. Don't you read Lovecraft?
Your view is insane.
And you're the author of Killing Jesus. God, what's your problem?
When I said I didn't have a problem, I don't have a problem.
Okay. I think I'm going to talk to Megyn Kelly now.
You know what I think we should do? Let's just sing.
Man, see, Bill? You just sit there and write books about Kennedy and Jesus and cooking and stuff.
I'll do the religious ones, you do the secular ones.
Oh, yeah. Totally. I love that. I love that idea.
Okay.
So what's it going to be, like some Miley Cyrus?
Just love listening to David Smalley and the Dogma Debate.
What you are about to hear is like nothing you've heard before.
This isn't just about debating. This is about making a difference.
It'll challenge you. It'll make you laugh. It'll upset you. But most importantly, it'll make you think.
I actually have proof here.
We just created a gay baby. You're all dirty little heathens.
There we go.
Welcome to the Dogma Debate. Yeah, this is not David Smalley. You're right. This is Trent. I know. Just relax. Well, I know. Just relax. Today is December 25th, 2013. How you doing there? How'd you open your presents? What'd you get? Did you get it? Is it good? Is it nice? Is it a good stocking? Okay. Just tell me later. So I'm hosting Dogma Debate today. This is the best of part 1 show. Also, there will be a part 2, January 1st. Same time, same place. That'll be Wednesday, of course, 7 p.m. Central Time. And also, after the best of, we come back January 8th. That is a very, very special show. In fact, it's somebody's birthday that day. I won't spoil the goods. Just come listen to us on the 8th. So without further ado, let's get our best of show underway. I take you back to episode 72, Atheist Erotica, where we listen to our favorite singer, atheist singer, secular singer, the gorgeous lady from down under, Shelley Siegel.
I'm just tuning my guitar, but I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yeah.
So, David, do you want to tell everyone what the conversation was earlier?
Absolutely. So we were talking earlier about Aaron. It was actually before the show. Aaron was being sarcastic that maybe one day Shelley will meet her goal of opening for the Insane Clown Posse. And I said, yeah, maybe she can write a song about how magnets work. And we laughed, and that was funny. And Shelley, while you were on hold, tell us what happened.
Yeah, while I was on hold, I wrote a small song called How Magnets Work.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd like to play it for you now. Please. And please excuse. Oh, first I had to look up who the hell ICP were. And then I watched their songs. And, that song, Miracles, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I was inspired. You could say divine inspiration. No.
Yeah, I mean, the facts are so solid.
When I first watched that video, it took me a while before I could close my mouth and blink.
I'm so looking forward to this.
Okay, it's very short because it's just a.
How dare you?
An
not
A,
be able to
B,
finish
A.
a song.
All right, here we go.
All right.
This is called How Magnets Work. A magnet is any object that has a magnetic field. It attracts various objects like pieces of iron, nickel, and steel. It may seem like a miracle, but that's just 'cause magnetic forces are invisible. When current flows in a wire, a magnetic field is created, inferring magnetic fields are produced by the motion of electrical charges, and the mystery is dissipated. It may seem like a miracle, but that's just because magnetic forces are invisible. A magnet is any object that has a magnetic field. It attracts and repels various objects like pieces of iron, nickel, and steel. It may seem like a miracle, ICP, but that's just because magnetic forces are invisible.
Okay. Oh, we love you so much, Shelley. You're so funny.
That was beautiful, and now I see
tears.
And now I see her opening for Tim Minchin.
You know, I think that it really should be the other way around. I think Shelley should be the headliner, and Tim Minchin should open up for her. I'm just saying. Next on the best of list, I'm going to take you to a very recent episode. Episode 99. It's Lawrence Krauss. And he pretty much just talks about nothing the whole time. Boring. Here's that short clip for you.
I hope you're not tired of talking about this, but we want to talk to you for a minute about nothing. Because and I know you're sick of it, and I'm very sorry. Maybe I can be the last person to ask you about it. But,
no, it's okay.
But
it's a great book that he wrote on nothing.
Thank you.
My daughter was just asking me the other day, and these are very, very basic, simple questions. My daughter's 9, and she's like, okay, so there was nothing there. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and then the universe started, kind of. And I was like, well, yeah. And she's like, so what was there right before that? Nothing?
Well.
And I was like, I said, well, there's this guy coming on my show, and I promise I'll ask him.
A 9-year-old answer is going to be probably difficult, but
yeah.
Well, the real. First of all, the real thing you should say to your daughter, which is what more parents should be more confident about saying, is, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, let's find out. Let's see what we can learn about it. Parents have the feeling that they're supposed to, and teachers, they're supposed to answer all the questions as if they have facts. The really interesting thing is saying, you know, let's find out, is encouraging asking questions and then thinking about it. And we don't have to know all the answers. And in science, we don't know all the answers. That's why I continue to do science. So the simple answer is really we don't know, because we don't have a full quantum theory of gravity that can take us right back to t = 0. But one thing that is possible, which will not please your daughter at all, is the fact that, as I describe, our universe has all the characteristics of a universe that was created from nothing by laws of physics that we could understand. And namely, space and time themselves can pop into existence when there was no space and time. But if there was no space and no time, then time may not have existed before our universe came to existence. Time may be an emergent property of our universe. If that's the case, then there was no before. The words don't mean anything. And, of course, that's not very satisfying, but that's the way it is. We've learned that the universe is the way it is, whether we like it or not, and our common sense notions of what seem normal are not always appropriate. As Richard says in the movie, you know, our notions of common sense arose from the Pleistocene in Africa, when our ancestors were trying to figure out how to escape from lions and feed themselves, but not to understand quantum mechanics or relativity. And so we shouldn't expect that our common sense actually applies to the universe. That's a myopic view, and we have to. And one of the things that's great about science is it overcomes that myopia by saying, look, these things are uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable is a part of learning.
Yeah, I think it's funny that every time I'm interviewed for any kind of a podcast or radio show or whatever, they always want to ask me that very question. What was it, at the beginning of the universe, where did the nothing come from or what have you? And I said, well, why are you asking me this? Why don't you have Lawrence Krauss on? Do they ask you evolution questions? I mean, why are they asking me physics? I'm not that guy.
Yeah, no, and I think it's and I'm happy I'm the guy that people want to turn to and ask those questions, because I think it's fascinating. And after all, one of the reasons I wrote the book is that it is kind of the last bastion of God. We got rid of God from the creating the diversity of life. It used to be special creation for every species. Darwin showed you didn't need that. You didn't need any miracles. We're now pretty sure that that chemistry can turn into biology. We don't even know exactly how, but we figure we're maybe a decade or two away from that. You don't need any miracles.
Yeah, evidently not.
But how did you create 100 billion galaxies, each containing 100 billion stars, if there weren't any to begin with? That sounds like it violates the laws of nature, and that's where you insert God. Whenever you appear to violate the laws of nature, how can you create all this stuff if the stuff wasn't there? But as now we now understand, all that stuff, the total energy of all that stuff, can be precisely zero. And if that's the case, our universe is the ultimate free lunch.
That was Lawrence Krauss from episode 99, just this past one. And, that was such a great opportunity for us to have him on the show. And I know it was a short-lived segment, but, we really appreciate his time. He's very busy. The Unbelievers had a New York release that night, or maybe it was the night after, I believe. So he was pretty busy talking about that on some shows he was doing that day. He found some time to talk to us, and we sort of took him away from eating, so he probably was very hungry the entire interview and probably couldn't focus on nothing as much as he wanted to. But it was a great opportunity to have him. Now I'd like to take you to episode number 90. We received a very touching email from one of our listeners that David just couldn't pass up reading. We really seem to have touched this person's heart in a very, very positive way. And David really felt the need to get this on air. We'd just like to personally also thank that person for allowing us to do that. Very, very touching. And this was actually, for me, a pretty powerful moment. And so this definitely was one of the clips that really shined, I believe, through me personally, just in regards to what Dogma Debate does for people, and how somehow, I don't know how, but David's goofy ways and his amazing host abilities and just his personality and the way that this show kind of presents itself really sets itself apart from other shows, and actually seemingly gives people the comfort they need, even in an email. So this is one of those clips now. Please enjoy this, episode number 90.
I get a lot of emails. People talk about their deconversion, how they left the church. It's all really good stuff. This one is just really, really powerful. So I want to share it with you. I'm just going to read it to you, and then we can have a discussion about it, then get out of here to do the after show, where Aaron is going to rant about Oprah Winfrey. Aaron Raw versus Oprah Winfrey. If you're not part of the membership, you can sign up, login.dogmadebate.com. What you do is you sign up, you pay $5 a month just to be a supporter of the show, and to thank you for that, we give you tons and tons of content, downloadable things, videos, behind the scenes, pre-audio, post-audio, all kinds of stuff. So that's where we're going to do that piece of that. So feel free to go sign up, login.dogmadebate.com. Stop that. Hi there. I'm honestly not sure how to start off this email. I have a lot of things to say, so I guess I should sort of introduce myself and tell a little about my history. My name is Jesse. I'm 19. I'm a lesbian with somewhat agender leanings. Honestly, I don't care what gender people refer to me as. I realize I'm biologically female, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'm passionate about psychology and social justice, especially LGBTQ+ and feminist issues. However, I was raised in a Christian home. I went to a Lutheran school through 8th grade and went to church every week of my life for 18 years. I'm honestly not sure how I turned out so liberal and scientifically minded, but I did, and I'm so happy that I am. When I was a kid, I would sort of observe the way girls acted around me and mimic them. I quickly learned how to act like a good Christian girl and which boys to have a crush on. I acted as normal as I could, but I hated it. I grew sick of trying to act like the perfect Christian little girl my parents wanted. I started acting up. I questioned my religion teachers about everything. I didn't understand why no one else in my class was seeing these problems. For years, it felt like I was the only one who saw problems with the things the Bible said. I would ask my parents and teachers, and they never had answers. All they would tell me was that the pastor knew, and he was the one who had studied the Bible for years. I expressed my frustration that they were just blindly following a faith they didn't even seem to understand. And all they said was I obviously needed to talk to a pastor and have him explain things to me. I refused to sit by and be a blind follower like everyone else wanted to be. I didn't want to sit and not think about this huge philosophy that would completely change my life. In middle school, they finally taught us some basics of evolution, alongside ways to debate it, of course. My teacher told us that in order to be true Christians, we had to believe in creation, because as soon as you accept evolution, you are throwing out Genesis, and it's just a matter of time until you fall down the slippery slope into atheism. I tried to force myself to believe in creation. Even though it went against all my logic, I was terrified to go to hell. I got to my freshman year in high school and finally learned more about evolution. Just one basic fact shattered all of my belief in creation. The fact that we can see stars millions of light years away made me realize that the creation story could not be true. The world could not be 6,000 years old. I went back and I asked my teacher how that could be explained with the Bible, just in case there was something I was missing. He explained to me that the reason we can see these stars is that the speed at which light traveled had actually changed since the world was created. I thanked him, but I knew that didn't make sense. I knew the speed of light was a constant. It isn't something that just changes. My questions scared my parents. They bought me a book called Answers in Genesis. They wanted to take me to creation museums. They saw me doubting my faith. Around this time, I also started making realizations about my sexuality. I realized that I'd never really liked any boy. Even though I had realized the good Christian creation myth was wrong, I was still scared of hell. I Googled my questions some more. I tried to find ways to make the Bible make sense. I tried to convince myself I wasn't a bad person just because of my sexuality. Something I knew was scientifically proven to not be a choice. But I was constantly being bombarded in my home life with the idea that homosexuality was a disgusting sin. I became paranoid of how others viewed me. This paranoia became severe and debilitating social anxiety, which quickly led to depression. I started hating myself. My best friend, an atheist, was always there for me. She logically explained to me why I wasn't a bad person and why I didn't need to hate myself. I would try to remind myself of the things she would always tell me. I couldn't convince myself. I was still terrified. I would spend several nights a week having panic attacks caused by my own self-loathing. I don't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to love myself when I was being told by a God that something beyond my own control was inherently wrong. Even with all the things I found saying that Jesus didn't hate homosexuality, I knew there were still verses that said otherwise. This hatred for myself grew throughout high school. All I wanted was to get out of the house that I lived in. I was scared to get help. That's the worst part, I think. I was scared to get help. I didn't want to tell a counselor about my depression or my sexuality for fear that they would tell my parents. I didn't want to deal with religion anymore. I told myself I just needed to find a more liberal church and I could forget about all of this. I told myself that I would be happy once I left. I convinced my parents to let me live on campus when I went to college. That's a smart move. And then things got worse. My anxiety and depression got to a point where I was physically ill for weeks on end. I couldn't keep food down. I couldn't stand up and leave my bed without having to run to the bathroom and throw up. All I thought about was death. I was scared. I went to the doctor on campus every few days. They ran blood tests and urine tests. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. All I wanted was for everything to end. I wanted to go to sleep and never wake up. I realized I needed to find help. I still refused to find any. I didn't know where to start without telling my parents. I wasn't going to classes. I spent all day lying in bed just trying to keep myself alive and not feeling like absolute shit. I was wasting money and failing my classes and I had no one around to go to. I didn't know anyone around me. I didn't have any of my friends from high school. I was helpless. I felt abandoned by everyone. That first year of college was the worst year of my life. I couldn't convince myself to still believe in God, but I still clung to it out of a fear of hell. That was last year. This past summer, I told my parents I'd been struggling with depression for years. I told them I needed to get help. I've been going to therapy for months now, and I've been feeling a lot better about myself. I've been more active on various websites. I don't have many friends in real life, but I have many people I talk to on a regular basis, one of which introduced me to Dogma Debate about a week or two ago. The first episode I listened to was episode 88, A Christian Defends His Faith. That was the one with Billy, who's listening right now. That podcast made me realize that the faith I was clinging on to made no sense. I just didn't want to let go because I'd been afraid. But now I have, and I feel free. Your podcast has made me feel better about myself than I ever have. I no longer feel guilty about my existence. I cannot thank you enough for this freedom I feel. I have been slowly listening to every podcast you guys have done, and I am finally happy. Jesse, your newest fourth listener.
I want to give her a hug. Seriously. Like, if you're listening, I'm hugging you. There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
I used to keep...
Jesse, I want you to know you did this. It's nothing that the podcast did. It's nothing that your friends did. Your strength and your desire for the truth is what led you to where you are. I'm very happy that we could be a part of it. I'm so honored that we could be a part of it. And all these hours and all these things that we do and all the work that goes into it, every now and then we get caught up in the business of it, in the production of it, and how much time it takes and all the things that we're doing. Reaching people is so important. And that's what it's about. It's about helping people, giving people the strength, not changing lives, giving people the strength to change their own lives. And we are so proud of you for stepping up and doing that. And I promise you, the secular community is a safe place to land.
This is Trent, and you have been listening to Dogma Debate, the best of part 1. More to come right after this.
Compass120.com has apparel for the freethinker. That's men's, women's, and children's freethinker apparel with a special collection just for Dogma Debate 4th listeners. Stop by Compass120.com, that's COMPASS120.com, and check out the wonderful designs that you'll want to wear to your next secular meetup, convention, or just around town to let everyone know that you're willing to be counted as a freethinker. Compass120.com has the Christopher Hitchens profile shirt with the famous quote, "That which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence." The Dogma Debate collection includes the Dogma Debate t-shirt with the I Am Fourth hashtag on the back for men and women, everyone's favorite Jerry DeWitt's profile and his quote on atheism, skepticism, agnosticism, and humanism, and Keith Lowell Jensen's "Thank a Union Member, It's Friday." If you're a free thinker and you want to show your colors, go to Compass120.com, use the code Dogma Debate for a 10% discount, and show the world not just what you think, but that you think. Compass120.com.
So what do atheists want? What do atheists want from Christians in this country? Well, I'll tell you a few things that I would like. First of all, I'd like you to believe whatever you want, but I'd like you to be skeptical in your beliefs, because your beliefs are your own business, but people will try to use your beliefs to control you. Charlatans and others know that you are more likely to do what they want you to do if they tell you God, Jesus, or the Bible tells you you should do it. When you hear those words, beware. Someone is trying to control you.
I'm Todd Stiefel, and I'm the 4th listener of Dogma Debate.
I won't live for something I can't
Ladies and gentlemen, Miley Cyrus!
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party out.
Megyn Kelly's taste in music is pretty awesome. I mean, yeah, definitely good. I wonder if this would be considered a secular one, or if this would be considered a religious one. I'll take the latter. I don't know. Welcome back to Dogma Debate. I'm your host, Trent. Pretty weird, I know. But let's just keep moving on here with all of our great best of clips for you today. I know you probably have some leftover pumpkin pie to eat, or whatever you heathens have on this holiday. Probably babies. I don't know. Maybe something like that. But anyway, let's get back to our best ofs. I'm going to take you to episode 94. The Atheist Movement with J.T. Eberhard. He's pretty great, and so is this clip. Enjoy.
That talk that you gave actually talks about removing an option doesn't negate all free will, right?
Yeah. Christians, when you ask, like, why are we allowed to disbelieve in God and go to hell? Why is there suffering? And they say, well, because God values free will so much.
Right.
He's got to give us malicious
God
options.
did it.
But we don't need malicious options in order to have free will. We don't need all the options to have free will. For instance, you don't have the option to grow 5 additional arms. This doesn't violate your free will because you don't have that option. You have options, just not every option. So all you need to have free will is just the option to do some things. You can't jump over a building. You can't convert things into a unicorn with the power of your brain. But as long as you have some options, you have free will. So we can have free will without the apple, without the ability to disbelieve in God, without the ability to have gay sex or even want to have gay sex. That God leaves those options on the table as though we couldn't have free will without them is a God that is trying to open up doors into hell, not shut them.
Good. You know what? I used that argument, and I got that argument. Anyone who hears me talk about that, if I'm doing it in a long conversation, I always give credit to JT because that's where I got it from. But if
now
you
I know
hear
to
me,
charge you for that.
absolutely, I owe you a royalty every time.
Don't.
But you know what? I go a step in this direction when I'm talking about it, and John Christie here in studio heard me talk about this last night whenever he talked about why there needed to be suffering. And by the way, John and I are going to get in a conversation later in the show about the problem of evil and about American Christianity. John is against a lot of the things that we're against about Christianity. So we're going to talk about that later in the show. But last night we were talking just in my living room, just hanging out talking. And I started talking about this, and I mentioned your point that removing one or two of the options doesn't negate all of free will. And then I took it of the direction of, we could have the ability to stump our toes, and a kid could fall down and have a cut and bleed, and we could have broken fingers without leukemia. It doesn't have to be that bad in order to have bad things happen. Why does it have to get that bad, and how can you worship and glorify something that not only allows it to happen, but his will be done, so he must be willing it to happen? And John's going to address all of these things later in the segment. But JT, that basis of my argument all comes from what I learned from you in that talk. It was phenomenal.
I'm touched. Thank you for saying so. And I was joking about charging you. I think information arguments should be free. If anybody like you hears something I've said or reads an argument I've used and feels like they can use it, they don't even need to credit me. Just use it. I mean, we're all in this together. But thank you for telling me. That really does touch me that my work resonated with you.
And I will say this too. And I'm just going to be. I mean, we show all sorts of behind the scenes on this show. And I would tell you this if we were talking on the phone. My mom. I very rarely send her anything. She's a believer, and I rarely send her any atheist material. We never talk about it anymore. But your talk about free will, because we've had arguments about that and about mental disorders and pain and suffering and all these other things, and she's always said free will, free will, free will. It's her easy answer. And rather than me talking about it, I thought, I want her to see JT's talk on it, and I was excited about her seeing it, so I sent her the video, and she said she didn't even get into it very long, and she turned it off and became extremely angry. And I went, Mom, what about that angered you?
I have that effect on women.
I said, did you get to the part about the free will? Did you get to the part about it? She said, nope, didn't hear that. I was like, Mom, all the good stuff that I've learned from that, I wanted you to hear. She's like, nope, I couldn't even get past it. I said, well, what happened? She said, whenever he said, your God has abandoned you, take my hand. She said, I almost put my fist through my computer. And that angered her so much she wouldn't stick around for the good stuff. How do you combat that, JT?
I don't know if it's really up to me to combat it so much, because that type of reaction, that immediate anger reaction, is something that I find is kind of automatic with a lot of religious people. And remember, I debate and talk to religious people for a living pretty much. I was tabling with Michael at KU just this last Friday, and a Christian woman came up to the table and opened with, "You guys are atheists and agnostics, huh? Why?" Now, if I'd have gone up to the Christian table and said, "So you guys are Christians, huh? Why?" Like, you can imagine the offense they'd take. But it's kind of a double standard there. And so I was completely cordial, and we talked about her reasons for believing in God. And a couple times I even got her to admit, like, "Oh, that's a good point. That argument doesn't make sense." I mean, she opened with Pascal's wager, for crying out loud. And but I made her cry without being even remotely cruel. I made her cry because just the conversation can sometimes be a threat to these people.
Yep.
And I don't think as an individual
and it scares
you can
them.
do it. Does. I don't think as an individual you can do anything but be nice. But if we keep talking about it, and not being complete jerks, eventually I think they will get acclimated to the conversation, because this is a fairly new thing. It's like the cartoon, atheists of the 1950s, shut up. Okay, atheists of today, shut up. To hell with you. But we're just getting to the point where the conversation can honestly really happen, and there's some adjusting that's going to need to be done. But it should be pointed out that this can only happen if the atheists are willing to keep having the conversation over and over and over again, to give them that chance to get acclimated to it.
JT, just before we came on air, John was interviewing me for the documentary My Week in Atheism, which you actually took part in as well. And he asked me why I wanted to do the film, why I thought it would be a good idea to do My Week in Atheism, which is ultimately a Christian film. Why would I want to take part in that? And my comment was, we need to inspire conversations. When I'm debating someone, I'm not always necessarily debating to change that person's mind. It's to inspire the other people that are either on the fence, who are struggling, who want to learn how to talk to other people. And more importantly, and I say this all the time, and I end every one of my talks with this, never pass on the opportunity to have a conversation, because the next mind you change could change thousands. You never know what that person is going to contribute to the world, to separation of church and state, and ultimately minimize the abuse, suffering, and oppression that comes out of religion to begin with. So keeping the conversation going is absolutely the most important part.
David's got a very good point there, keeping the conversation going in regards to anything going against somebody else's religion, and just keeping it simple-minded and fair, really, honestly, is the best way to go about it. I know that there's people out there that somehow can't handle the fact that you are going against what they believe and saying, but all in all, if you don't say it, they'll never know, and if they don't ever say it, you might never know. You can always learn something from even an opposing side, so definitely take the time to construct yourself well during a conversation and hold your ground. Absolutely. Now let's take you to episode 40, Atheist Reality. This episode was pretty important, especially for younger listeners who may be afraid to come out to their parents or talk to them about certain issues, such as death or, in fact, secularism altogether. David sums this up quite nicely in a conversation he has with his daughter.
As I said in the beginning of the show, we were sitting on the couch, we were watching something about mummification, and she saw a dead person on the Discovery Channel. She pulled her knees up to her chest and said, "Daddy, I don't want to die." And as a parent, that's already a hard enough conversation to have, but you add the atheist as the cherry on top, and I don't have any pretty stories to come tell her that it's all going to be okay, that everything's going to be awesome.
Right.
So I want to play for you now the conversation I had with Alyssa. And honestly, I haven't gone back and listened to it. I mastered and edited it for the show, but I may not always agree with everything I've said here. I don't know. I did not do any research. It was very impromptu. We came to the studio immediately because I told her that it could probably be helpful to other kids and other parents because atheists don't have a big magic fairy tale to tell people. And we not only talked about death, but we talked about how she's dealing with being a non-believer and whether or not she hides it. Does she call herself an atheist? Does she say she doesn't know yet? What does she say? Well, for the first time, and she's the single closest person to me in my life. And for the first time, I actually interviewed my daughter about religion. We talk about it briefly here and there. Daddy, what does that mean? Daddy, what does this mean? But this was our first really long, in-depth conversation. And I don't remember exactly what happened. I'm going to be listening to it for the first time with you and the listeners. All three of you. But I know I left this conversation being very, very proud of Talissa. So I'm going to play it for you now. It's quite a long conversation, but it's about 20 minutes long. But those of you that can stick around in the studio and talk to me about it afterwards, it would be great. And if you can't, I'll certainly appreciate it. But here's my conversation with Talissa.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check check.
What were you saying just a second ago that your friends have told you about what happens when you die?
One of my friends named Caitlin, she said, when you die, your soul goes up to heaven, but really you just stay underground. And that's what she said. She said, if your soul goes up there, then I should believe in God, but I don't. But I would, even if that did happen, I would rather even stay buried.
Why would you rather stay buried than go to a heaven?
There's probably not even good stuff there, not even good food.
No, listen. I mean, if there really was such a place, it's supposed to be like paradise. It's supposed to be awesome. And Christian parents have a lot easier discussion with their kids when it comes to this.
I know.
Because Christian parents can just say, oh yeah, whenever you die, then it's going to be great because you get to go see grandma and grandpa and all your aunts and uncles and everybody that's ever died, and we'll all be together again someday. And it makes it go away for a lot of kids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But we can't do that. I'm going to be honest with you.
I know.
It's probably the hardest conversation we're ever going to have is about death, because it's not pretty. And you know, Talissa, I've never lied to you about anything. I tell you when the shots are going to hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you know what to expect, so it doesn't hurt as bad when you know it's going to hurt.
I know. One time there was a baby clock, and she just told me to look at the baby, how cute it is. I was like, okay. And it hurt as bad.
Right. No, it didn't hurt. You were even like, yeah, I know you're going to poke me. It's fine. And that's cool. And you know what? I don't want you to be miserable as a kid. I don't want you to walk around thinking about death as a kid. But, you know, whenever we're at a family party and there's music playing and I say, go dance. All the other kids are dancing. And you're like, oh, I kind of want to, but I'm kind of embarrassed. Right? And I go, come on, go. And all the other kids start dancing. And you go, oh, I kind of want to dance, but then I don't want to dance. And then when I tell you, listen, I've loaded the car. We're leaving in 30 seconds. If you don't dance now, you're not going to dance at all because I'm leaving. Then what do?
Dance.
You dance because that's your only shot. Well, guess what, sweetie? This is your only shot. This is your chance at life. This is your chance to do something amazing. You can do anything you want to do. You can inspire anybody you want to inspire. And you can be anything you want to be. But this is your one shot. the car is loaded, and we're leaving soon, so this is your chance to do something great. I just want you to remember that, because a lot of Christians or believers in general will think, well, I'm going to be in heaven someday, so real life, it's important to be nice to people, but who cares? God's going to judge me in the end, and I'm going to be dead, and I'm going to be happy, I'm going to float around with wings, and all of these things that I would like to be able to tell you are true, but they're not. It just doesn't happen that way, and I don't want you, the main reason I'm honest with you, Talissa, is because I don't want you running around thinking that this is a practice run and that you're going to get another shot at life in heaven someday and everything's going to be awesome.
I already know what you're trying to say. I know, because you don't get two lives, you get one life until you die and then get buried, and that's only one chance.
Yep, and you don't even have to get buried. I want to donate my body to science so that they can do more research. They can take my organs and give them to people who are still living who can use my organs. Because like when you die, maybe your brain is dead, but your heart may be in great condition, and somebody may need a heart to live. So they can take your heart out of your body and give it to another person that can actually use it. So you can be an organ donor and you can help people stay alive to do more things. Doesn't that sound cool?
I would like to do that.
You do want to do that? Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm going to do that too. I know death can be scary. I don't want you to run around constantly thinking about it. It's not pretty. But one thing I do want it to do, if you do think about it, just let that remind you how important it is that this is your 30 seconds to dance. This is your shot. And when you realize that, life is really exciting. Life can be very, very fun. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be terrifying. You don't have to constantly worry about how you're going to die or the people around you that are dying. You know what? Telling people that you love, saying I love you, is even more important now. Letting them know that you're there for them is even more important now. What do your friends think about you? How do you say that? Do you tell them you don't believe? Do you just say I don't know yet? Or do you actually call yourself an atheist?
I actually just call myself an atheist, that I don't believe, and I'm an atheist, but it's my opinion and it's your opinion. That's just how it is. So.
And they don't. Do they tell you that you're going to go to hell, or do they say anything bad to you about when you die?
They would say, like, I'm going to go with the devil, and the devil's, like, going to throw fire on me, whatever.
That the devil's going to throw fire on you?
Yeah, just... So.
And what do you say when they say that? Well, first of all, how does it make you feel when they say that?
It makes me feel like I'm hearing a fairy tale story.
I love that answer. That's great. Well, what they're doing when they say that is their parents are trying to scare them into believing that that's the case. And so they think it's true. But they're also trying to scare you too, so that you'll start believing the things that they believe. And I know it's hard for you to talk about it at school, but I hope you don't feel like they're right, or that you're scared of actually some sort of devil, or you do realize it's a fairy tale. That's great that you said that. That's awesome.
I know it's all a fairy tale, and that God isn't real, and no one even knows what. Okay, people just think they know what he looks like. No one knows who he looks like because he's not real.
That's right. A lot of people actually argue over what they think he looks like. And a lot of them even argue over which God is real, because there's so many gods that people have said that they know exist. And there's a lot to talk about. I don't know if you heard about this, but I have a show about it. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot, because they can never agree on it. If there was really one, only one, and it was true, I think everybody would be on the same page, right? They would all know a lot more about this God, but they're always fighting about it because nobody knows, because like you said, there's not one. That's a great point.
Like one time, they told me that. I'm like, all that up there is space and clouds. I mean, well space and, like, the sky and clouds and a long way up, and then there's space. That's it. There's no, like, God or anything. Like, space only stops when the sky stops. I guess.
That's great. No, that's cool. I mean, and what do they say whenever you say there's nothing up there but space?
They say it's over space.
That God is over space?
Yeah, like...
That doesn't... How does that make sense?
I don't know, like, you know, it's like the sky and then space, and then they think it's God way up there. I'm like, no, it's just more space.
Yeah, you're a pretty smart kid. You're a pretty smart kid.
Did you know, I almost... Remember, Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
I almost got her. Almost.
What do you mean you almost got her?
Like, she told her friends that she was half atheist and half God. I'm like, that makes no sense.
What do you mean you almost got her? What are you talking about?
Like,
you try to make her not a Christian anymore?
No, not that. Like, I told her that like God wasn't weird or anything, but it's your opinion. You can choose. She said, okay, I'll put this. I'll be half atheist and half God. I'm like, that makes no sense. Just pick one. She's like, I don't know.
I mean, I didn't know you talked about it that much. I didn't even realize you had those conversations at school. I like your answers so far. I mean, I don't think you need any coaching. I think whenever your friends say that kind of stuff to you, you know, I think you're responding really well, and I'm glad that you don't let them not be your friend anymore, because I still want you to be friends with your friends. I think that's really cool.
And Caitlin whispered in Keely's ear that it's not good to be near an atheist. I'm like, well, Caitlin, she's been sitting with me like all year and nothing has bad happened. There you go. And
I need a high five on that one. You rock.
I've been sitting here with like all year, and lunch and like at ASI. I've been near her almost like for, I don't know, yeah, like 1 year, and nothing has bad happened to her.
What did she say to that?
She just got up, walked away. She didn't know what else to say.
Are you still friends with her?
Mm-hmm.
You are still friends with her. Talissa, I'm so proud of you. That's great. Because a lot of people could be upset about that and run home and cry and say, my friends don't like me because I'm an atheist. I'm not going to tell anybody anymore. I'm going to pretend to believe. And that's fine if they do that. And their parents can deal with that. But the way you're responding to these kids is perfect. I love it.
Well,
I'm so proud of you.
I always...
And I'm proud of you also for being their friend still. Because what you're saying is, I don't care that you're a Christian. I'll still be your friend, you know, and you don't have to hate me because I disagree with you. That's the same thing I say on my show. But I'm a grown-up, and there are a lot of people out there, even grown-ups, Talissa, that don't understand that. They think we have to hate each other. And I'm so glad that you already get that we don't.
Well, I just say to them, usually they say that it's not good to be friends with atheists. And I say, oh, well, it's your opinion. Do you want to be my friend or not? And she's, like, Keely or Kylie was, like, thinking about it. Kylie already knows she's my friend, but Keely was still thinking about it, and she's like, okay, I'll be your friend. But then, like...
So you made it their decision. You let them decide if they wanted to be your friend or not. I think that's great.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make them be my friend or make them not be my friend. I'm just letting them choose. It's their opinion, not mine, so...
You are one awesome little girl. So proud of you.
Also, I think a lot of people fight about what the devil looks like, too.
Yeah, I think they do, too. Things that are imaginary, people that believe in it will argue about it. And the reason I argue about it is because of things like that happen to you. You're 8 years old. You're in 3rd grade. You should not have people coming to you telling you that you're going to burn and a devil's going to put fire on you after you're dead. You take it, great. I love the way you're responding. But you shouldn't have to deal with that. You shouldn't have to stand up and pledge allegiance to a flag to one nation under God. That's not cool. You shouldn't have to do that. That's why we have the show, and that's why we fight, sweetie. I want you to know all those hours that I'm in the studio working, that's what I'm working for. I want you to know that.
Usually when they do the Pledge of Allegiance too at school, I just stay sitting there, everybody's standing up. Miss Hart told me to stand up and say it, but I just stand up. I don't say it. So like
sometimes you try to stay sitting down.
Yeah, but she told me to stand up, and then I just stand up, but I don't say it.
If you want to stay seated, I can make that happen. And I think you should be allowed to stay seated if you want to. Your other friends may not like it, but your teacher can't make you stand up for that.
Why?
Because you have the right to stay in your seat if you want to. And I can talk to your principal, I can talk to your teacher, and you can stay seated. Because what's that saying is, you're standing up and you're pledging allegiance. Do you know what an allegiance is?
No.
Exactly. You don't even understand the words that you're saying, but they're making you respond to this. And you're pledging allegiance to the flag, not to the country, but to the flag that represents what they call in the Pledge of Allegiance, one nation, which is our country, under God, meaning that God is over our country. You don't understand the allegiance. You don't understand what the whole concept is about, and you don't believe in the God that they say our nation is under, and it's a public school. That doesn't apply to you. You don't have to stand. You want to stay seated. Your teacher makes you stand, so you stand. I understand that. I get it. But I've actually already got a meeting set up with the principal to talk about some other things, and I can bring that up if you want me to. If you want to take that stand or take that seat and sit down during the pledge, I will support you on that, and we can make that happen. Do you want to?
Yeah, I can try one more time and see if she makes me stand up, and if she doesn't, I'll tell you that I want to sit down, and yeah. Well, it's kind of like her giving a paper sheet and not telling me what we do. We don't know what it is and what to do with it, so we just we have no leader to do it with. We don't know what that word says. We're not in college or anything. We don't know what that means.
Wow.
We need her to explain it. So that's basically what I.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I've got a meeting set with the principal. I'll talk to your principal about it. And the kids may treat you a little different sometimes because of it, but it seems like they already are, right? And you don't care. You're still fighting along. You're still having friends.
Plus, if they all choose not to be my friend, I still have Kylie and the other Kylie.
Right.
And I have
a lot of Kylies.
Sarah, Daniel.
Yeah, you got lots of friends. And I think you just saw 400 and something other atheists at the Texas Free Thought Convention. And did you say one of your friends said that there was only 2 or 3 atheists in the world?
Yeah. I think that was I think it was Keely or Kylie said that in 2nd grade, because they said something that I bet you're one of the only, you and maybe 2 more people are only atheists. I'm like, no, there are 4 billion of them on this planet.
There's not 4 billion.
Well, at least a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot. Not quite 4 billion, but yeah, that's a good answer.
But I said there's probably pretty more people that are Christians than there is atheists. But I'm just saying that there's way a lot more than 2 or 3 of atheists, and they're
You know what's funny about that, though, Talissa? There are even more people that are not atheists and that are not Christians. What I mean is, there are people that believe in gods that are not the Christian God, and there are more of those people than there are Christians. Muslims and Hindus are two other major branches of religions that believe in gods that are not Jesus or the God that's in the Bible. So even people that believe in gods, out of all those people, Christians still aren't even the majority of those people. So you may want to remind your friends of that when you talk to them. There are more Muslims and Hindus than there are Christians. When you add up Muslims and Hindus, there's more than them than there are Christians.
Speaking of that, like, what I think is that there's like there's one God for one state, another God for the other state, another God for the next state that they each believe in. It just keeps on going, like.
You mean country?
Or yeah, country. Like each God for one country. That's what I kind of think.
I don't know.
Believe in, because some don't believe like Zeus. Some don't believe in. I don't know, like other. I guess Zeus's wife or something like that.
Well, I love the way you're responding to your friends. I think that's great. I really do. I'm really proud of you, too. So keep it up. And if you ever have any questions, please.
Come tell you.
I'm your guy. Come talk to me about it. And especially if it's with your teacher or other students, I'll help you. But it doesn't seem like you need a whole lot of help. You seem like you pretty much have the right answers right now, so. But let me know if they ever say anything that you need help with, okay?
Okay.
All right, I love you, sweetheart. It's time to go to bed.
Okay.
And that was my conversation with Talissa.
Well, we're nearing the end of our 1 hour mark here for the best of part 1. So with that, I suppose I'll leave you on a little bit of holiday heathenistic cheer. I'm sure you're familiar with some of the different personalities we hear on the show from time to time, such as Rush Limbaugh, even Sylvia Browne as of late. God rest her soul, and her hair. And her nails. And her baggy clothes. Anyway, I'd like to play a little mashup I made of a few of the different personalities we have on the show. Oh, and in case you didn't know, every one of them is David. So, yeah, enjoy that.
I'm not tired. I drove 700 miles on my bike. I sleep while I'm riding.
Come on, he's going to Zorgov to see Flackendong.
That's how awesome I am.
You are sounding like a more and more dangerous person the more I get to know you.
I realized that while I'm riding my bike, if I hold my battle axe properly, nothing's going to hurt me while I'm sleeping, so...
I mean, you're Bigfoot, you sleep on your motorcycle.
Yep.
You drink bed beer.
Yep, I drink bed beer. It's, you get a big baby bottle with a nipple on it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just lay back and...
I hope everyone is picturing Arn Ra sucking beer out of a bottle right now. Because I sure am.
It goes... You made fun of me for the last time, you little bastard. Say it again, I dare you. By the way, we're having sex later. I see it happening.
I get the feeling that she would look straight at a woman and be like, your daughter was dead. Your daughter was shot. She was shot in the face 4 times.
I don't even have a daughter, but I'm convinced that she was definitely shot.
Yep. She was shot 4 times. Next. You, there in the blue coat. Your daddy's dead. I saw it happen. He just died. Tire right over his face. Who's next? Montel, your show's gonna suck. Be cut off the air in 4 years. I see it all happening. I see you eating turkey later. Tomorrow. I see you being full. I see you enjoying yourself with your family. I see it happening.
It's such an extraordinary claim. I just don't...
I see dressing.
How else could you know?
I see alcohol. I see football. Tomorrow.
With me? Football?
I just see it happening. And you're going to get shot.
Oh, God. I don't have sex with somebody in a black coat, right?
They're going to find you in water. You're dead. The Packers are going to lose.
No.
The Cowboys are going to lose.
Meh.
Football's going out of business.
Nobody supports it.
All of the quarterbacks tomorrow, dead. They're all dead. They're already dead. I see it happening.
How can you do this without laughing?
That makes my brain hurt.
I don't even understand.
Hello, folks. This is a complete disaster. I am completely blown away by how utterly ridiculous all of these... It's insanity, folks. Absolute insanity. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Barack Hussein Obama is a bad guy. I'm not. I'm simply saying he's an atheist, Muslim, terrorist, baby killer. That's all. Sure. I'm sure he's a good father to his American-hating children. And have you ever in your life thought that Obama... Unbelievable, folks. Don't blame me. I'm gonna put this election square on the shoulders of Mitt Romney. He just didn't have enough George Bush in him, folks. That's ultimately what it comes down to. He didn't have enough George Bush. I cannot believe you sluts have the nerve to re-elect this. I just might even quit doing radio. Because you sluts obviously aren't listening. This is an outrage, folks. When Obama comes to your house and takes all of your guns, kills all of your babies, feeds them to his atheist friends, and then redistributes all of your wealth to all of the poor people who want to go to the doctor, I'll say I told you so, folks. But I will say, it's kind of a good thing that Barack Hussein Obama, got elected, folks. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell I would bitch about all the time.
So Derrick Rose has some choice words to say, and he was at his post game, and he was wearing that black ribbon for Boston. There, you guys planning on doing that yourselves?
Each and every week, we're gonna do what we gotta do to be better, and that includes wearing a black ribbon. And we're gonna come out and wear a black ribbon every single week because we gotta do what we gotta do to work as a team and be better for the coach.
The coach made you guys brownies last week and took you guys to Chuck E. Cheese after the game. I heard that you were doing really good at skee ball, and you went 4 for 4. You want to spit on that game a little bit here and give us your take on how you prep for that and what the coach kind of does?
Yeah, well, each and every time I go to Chuck E. Cheese and play skee ball, I just always make sure I come out and try to represent my team and my other skee ball players and make my coach look good because he's always trying to improve us and make me not only a better skee ball player but a better man in general. And I just really respect the coach and try to come out and get better each day. Every day I step into Chuck E. Cheese so I can be proud.
I'm convinced you were possessed by this man.
Okay, that wraps up our part 1 of our best of show. Our best of part 2 is going to be next Wednesday, January 1st, 2014. So come and bring in the new year with me, once again, your host Trent. That'll be at 7 p.m. Central always. Make sure to check out login.dogmadebate.com There you can reach our forum, get access to all the goofy, wild stuff that happens around, like silly voices from David. And also, video. You can see live video of the show every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you with a holiday song that may be a little bit on the godless side. Ciao.
Wow, Grandpa, that's unbelievable.
It sure is, because it's bull.
December 25th is almost here. That's my very favorite time of year. I'm not a Christian, but I like the songs. But as an atheist, I don't belong. And since I like music, it's time that I right it wrong. The radio keeps on playing Silent Night. That I don't have a song just don't seem right. I hope it don't offend anyone, I just want to join in the fun. 'Cause isn't that what life's all about when all is said and done? I'm having an atheist Christmas. Yes, I know that it's easy to dismiss. I don't believe there's a God above, but I do believe in peace and love. I still watch every Christmas show, and ladies, I believe in mistletoe. It's a day to spend with my whole family and see what kind of presents they bought me. My family leaves me in the lurch. I cook the turkey while they go to church. Then I watch football games from my comfy sofa perch. As an atheist, I don't need a tree. A flat screen TV works just fine for me. It's much more fun to sit around. A tree doesn't have stereo sound. It's much more fun to watch with every beer that I pound. I must admit I tend to pray for a hangover to go away. An atheist just can't conceive, but in a foxhole we all believe. I must admit to my great shame, in the heat of passion I yell his name. I may be wrong, but it's hard to tell, and if I am, I'm going straight to hell. I'm having an atheist Christmas. Yes, I know that it's easy to dismiss. A Christmas Story is my favorite show. It's a wonderful life, must never go. The Bible's fiction, this I know. And ladies, I believe in mistletoe. Can someone tell me if they give out presents at Hanukkah?
Hey, fourth listener. I'm still here. Are you ready for an absolute overdose of this past year's Reason Eggs? I hope so. I'm about to drop it on you. Here they are. 2013 Reason Eggs by our boy, Kari Hanakayanaya. Or Kari Hanakayan. Enjoy.
Everybody in the club. Everybody in the club. Everybody in the club.
This is going to be one of those things.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Of course, Rachel. Have another beer. Blah, 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 and keep on going.
I hate you.
What the hell was that? Stop.
I rock.
They nicknamed me Thunderfoot. 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 All right. I don't want to get... Hold on. Not good to follow Rachel's lead.
No. Yeah, I put my chicken fried steak in my blender and my juicer.
I think it just sprayed on me.
Everybody in the club. I have nothing against fat people. Jolly and happy.
What?
What?
We have fish and reptiles and amphibians and mammals and bugs.
Chocolate pudding.
Cheerios. Yellow bananas.
Mormons!
Christians and beer, yeah.
Do you have crackers in your refrigerator?
I do.
I'm eating wood. Vegetarian meals. It's not satisfying.
Everybody in the club. Everybody in the club. Everybody in the club.
Yeah. No. Mormons, when they send their Mormons for missionaries, when they obtain that missionary position, sounds like a pretty exciting, sexy time. You're going to be hearing it on future shows that I'm a Mormon. I've been good today, therefore I can have a slice of pie. Horrible food with a toy. I want a cookie. I just want a cookie.
I could have all kinds of surgeries done to me by time travelers.
Monkeys might come out of my ass, and my butt cheeks just clenched.
That is incredible. Oh my god, I almost missed it. That baby is actually a monkey.
Did he seem evil?
Yes. It's a lovely thing. The next baby's a human. Dear God! There's an invisible monkey in my closet, and his pants fit tight.
That was in the bathroom.
That's right. That sounds a little kind of creepy, but don't worry.
Oh, explosion! Then sex and etc. I hate Sarah Palin!
You're not going to make everybody happy.
I hate Sarah Palin!
That's all right, honey. At least you believe in Jesus.
I hate Sarah Palin!
Someone get her a beer. Beer is really weird.
I hate Sarah Palin! Everyone can leave. I just want to talk to myself. I hate Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin! I hate Sarah Palin! That upset me. I usually end up embarrassing myself. I hate Sarah Palin! That should never come out of your mouth. I hate Sarah Palin!
The most hated woman in America.
Well, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I hate Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin!
Someone get the medication.
Watch your mouth. That's not funny. Punch so many people.
Let's keep it civil just for a little bit.
Well, it was necessary. I hate Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin! Sarah Palin! I can't explain it. It's a really, really complicated thing. Apparently I'm a crack addict.
Here's what we all need to do, and I'll do it too. Everybody.
Pull your pants down, say you're sorry. Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
It's pretty standard around here. It's kind of what we do.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
Kind of what we do.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
No.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
It is a torture for us.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
I was posing for a picture.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
No, people want to see that stuff.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
Does that make me weird?
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
I'm moved.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
Do this thing before you go to bed.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
If she's horrible,
pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
Here is how you should act every show.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
Let's do this or be fired.
That is so disgusting. Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
That makes me feel weird inside.
Pull your pants down, pull your pants down.
I was gyrating a little.
Pants down, pants down.
What about the woman in California?
Pants down, pants down.
This is not church.
You can do it!
I can't do that.
Don't touch my hair, woman.
Oops.
Don't touch my hair, woman.
I'm sorry.
Don't touch my hair, woman.
Abomination.
I did a video this weekend.
Abomination.
Tickling and playing with these rats.
Abomination.
I'm gonna go have a beer, watch some bears screw.
Abomination.
I had 6 strippers in my apartment.
Abomination.
Sin is fun. I love Samurai.
Abomination.
Who's Captain Sexy Smile?
Abomination.
I do have an extra limb.
Abomination.
Oh look, I can play with it.
Abomination.
Everything in the house is greasy.
Abomination.
Eric Hovind.
Abomination.
I want someone to analyze my spit.
Abomination.
Simo dos Liosos, guys.
Abomination.
Hey, I could do this if I keep lactating.
This is getting really awkward.
It is awkward. I may need to see a doctor.
Abomination.
I like the feeling of having sex.
Abomination.
What the hell are you doing with yourself?
Abomination.
Hugging is excellent radio.
Abomination.
I love Satan, totally. Devil.
Abomination.
Something very sexy and fun.
Abomination.
Nazis had their birth in a homosexual bar.
Abomination.
It's an electric guitar and a banjo.
Abomination.
I think you actually love it.
I feel like you just stabbed me.
Don't touch my hair, woman. Don't touch my hair, woman. Don't touch my hair, woman.
Hair.
Don't touch my hair, woman. Don't touch my hair, woman.
Hair.
Don't touch my hair, woman.
No! Meh.
Meh. Aw.
Cause it's embarrassing us. Meh.
Meh. Aw.
Cause it's embarrassing us. Real science. Real science. My hypothesis, that is based on my own thoughts, is that Magical Unicorn can create life.
My name's Mike. My name's David.
Are you a science person?
No.
Go make me a sandwich.
What?
Don't question.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, vomit. I'm so pissed off right now.
My children ate all the cookies this morning. Meh.
Meh. Aw.
Cause it's embarrassing us. Real science. Real science. I speak science.
You don't understand real science. You just sell me barbecue. What is that amazing smell? I want to bite something. Like beef jerky.
Hey, you should eat us because we're really colorful.
And we're not talking about sausage links. Women, shut up.
I don't even know where I am now. I hate science and I'm quitting. Meh.
Meh. Oh.
Cause it's embarrassing us. Meh.
Meh. Aw.
Cause it's embarrassing us. Real science. Real science. Meh.
Meh. There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door. And invisible people and filled with unicorns and flying horses. There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door. We gotta leave the house.
David!
There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door.
Dog bears.
That's dog.
Cute. There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door. Spider pigs.
Cats.
Crocodile.
There's something behind the door.
Ooh, a bug.
There's something behind the door. Group of Catholic girls. There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door. Ugly shark face thing.
Pokemon.
There's something behind the door.
Jesus.
There's something behind the door. Mormons.
You can't negotiate with those people.
Call the police.
There's something behind the door. There's something behind the door.
Horses. Camel.
A silverback gorilla. Say hi to the monkeys. Animals in my house just kind of piss me off. Does the sperm count as fish? Are y'all ready to party?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. You're slowly unbuttoning your shirt.
I want to look good naked. Ripping my shirt off in front of the ant farm and flexing my muscles. Check that out. You don't have these, do you? Yeah, you don't have some biceps, do you, ants? Keep going.
Your clothes on. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Thick honking meat.
Wow.
It's huge. I am absolutely in love with Stephen Colbert. He used me to explode. He almost explodes too. Bam! I can't take it anymore.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Twist my nipple. Ooh! You know what? You're fired. Don't old man breathe into the microphone. That drives me absolutely insane.
When you wish upon a star,
That's why I know the states.
makes no difference who you are. You have got squat. When you wish upon a star,
That's why I know the states.
makes no difference who you are. Jesus, I want a dolphin in my pocket.
You have a big one there, Aaron.
I've got one.
Big thing.
It's a dinosaur. When you wish upon a star,
That's why I know the states.
makes no difference who you are.
Seriously?
You really have Christians listening to this show.
Anything your heart desires will come to you. I wish you were a beer. I'm a freak. I've had squirrels loose in my house regularly. I would like a 5-pointed star with all the points kind of bent sideways with a little knob on the end like a spiral across my face. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
That was very good, Aaron.
We have a very, very well documented evolution of beer. This is a science show!
I came from slime, and a snake is my cousin.
This is a science show!
Sciencey mumbo jumbo love fest of science geeks.
I have something to say about everything.
Richard Nixon taught me a lesson. Kids, don't disobey your parents. They might kill you. I've got an uncomfortable silence all around me.
Oh, okay. Let me see. What was it? Was it no. Yeah, there was. I can't. I remember they gave me a free bar tab.
And that proves evolution right. This guy has been walking with dinosaurs since 100 million years ago.
This is a science show!
I started reading as a teenager.
Ain't no gay chickens.
This is a science show!
Sciencey mumbo jumbo. Say hi to the monkeys.
Why are monkeys still here? I didn't come from goo.
What? What is this? Oh, finches. They look similar. Oh, eagle.
Worm. Tree. Oh, they're all related.
It's either science or nonsense.
This is a science show!
Boobs cause earthquakes, and we're going to squeeze both of them into one segment.
Wow, good job, guys.
The bugs are pooping on me.
What?
My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican.
Boo. That's creepy.
My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican.
Ugly fish.
He'll die soon.
I feel good all the time.
You know what? I can't remember the time of the day. That's amazing.
Aaron is drinking water.
This is a horror movie. I'm in a horror movie.
He's old.
I'm not dead. My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican.
Why?
My goldfish vote Republican.
Kill the fish and just say,
They're killing babies.
Okay. All right. Not going to freak out. I'm an atheist.
If you have what it takes, they'll train you to do it.
You must not listen.
Shush.
He's going to try to do it.
What's this red button do? Pow pow.
Fish. Got deleted.
You're wrong!
Oh, no. We still have fish.
Yes! My goldfish vote Republican.
Stop it.
My goldfish vote Republican.
Shut up.
My goldfish vote Republican.
We're going to lock this guy up in prison.
Yeah.
My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican. My goldfish vote Republican.
Oh, my gosh.
Meh.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
That guy with the hair, he's great.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Is it Santa?
It's not Santa.
I would destroy him.
You're welcome. I appreciate you. Lean back. I appreciate you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Ding! Now we're brothers. I appreciate you. On the beach together.
The tide goes in, and the tide goes out.
Oh, yeah, I loved watching documentaries.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
You can say it's a hypothetical person.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Why do I need men?
Well, technically, you can.
I hate you so much.
I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Too much booty in the pants?
Yes. No. Yes.
Okay. Too much booty in the pants?
I don't know what to say.
Okay. Hey, give me a water!
He's getting angry.
Give me a water, okay?
M&M's, Jello, and Brillo pads. Gasoline! Blah.
Oklahoma Joe's Bar, are you eating? You were eating. In the studio, on the air, you're eating.
I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
It would have been a secret if you didn't yell about it.
I kind of already want to punch something. What you just did is immature, amateurish, and downright stupid.
Whatever.
You know what? You're fired.
Wow, really?
I've been good today, therefore I can have a slice of pie.
No.
No.
Meh. I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. Everything's hopeless. I'm not gonna get that pumpkin pie. Yeah, I just got some in my mouth.
Those are just papers.
Well, that's going to be the end of Dogma Debate today. I'm the pastor. David likes to call me. I'm sorry. Goodness, I'm so nervous. They don't even know I'm in the studio. The first time you're hearing this, it's going to be the first time they hear it too. So gonna be in some trouble, probably. Gotta tell ya. Anyway, David likes to call me the confused pastor, but I'm not. I'm just a pastor with some questions about a lot of things, you know. So anyway, go to church, you heathens. Just go to church. And Merry Christmas.